Before we get all started, I'll tell you guys one thing. I would be pronouncing some of the legendaries incorrectly, such as this guy right here. I would pronounce Rayquaza's name Rayquaza, due to that I'm used to that. So I would be pronouncing Arceus' name as Arceus, due to that it floats off my tongue a lot easier. With that out of the way, let's get started! His expression of fear, repugnance broke away as soon as his doubt made himself known. Her eyes narrowed into an annoying semblance. Her paws at her hips, at her fur, regained its silky pink hue. Her tail swished around like an arbok before lunging in to kill whatever prey was in sight. In a pound that harassed herself in temporary sound. "I saw then what I know. I know what I saw," she retorted in a high voice, fading into an angered hue. Of course, Arceus was surprised that she recovered from her sickened pose as fast as she did. Although it wasn't long before he rolled his eyes out in impatience for her obvious stubbornness. "No," he muttered. "I'm sure that you were just being paranoid and your mind deceived you. I have not to worry about it is, so if you don't mind, please return to your post on Earth and try and make the next meeting." He turned his back on her just to walk away, but a squeak of light fear she quickly shot forward and stopped in front of his face, causing him to nearly stumble back with an expression displaying surprise. "Please, let me stay here with you," she pleaded. She then pleaded, pure hurt in her eyes, as she placed her paws together in a begging manner. Arceus choked in his spit. "What?" "Please, Arceus," she continued, ignoring how the expression seemed to represent the word blasphemy. "I'm scared to go back to Mewtwo's cave. I don't want to be alone on Earth. Please, please, pretty please, with cherries to sit on top. Please." Arceus' eyebrows twitched, and those out of disbelief rather than anger of her obvious childness. She actually wanted to stay with him for the rest of the day. Him, in the Hall of Legends? He had enough troubles already, but now he had to put up her immature attitude all by himself. And just because she was too paranoid to go back to the cave of fearing to see it again. Speaking of which, Arceus still thought that she was being fooled. No way. The god Pokemon opened his mouth to emit his negative response, but Mew being to it. "Oh, thank you, Arceus," she squealed, apparently jumping into the conclusion that he would be happily accept her company. She had going to believe that the fact that he listened to every problem and Legendary's had and who reminded me be her best buddy for the rest of the day. Or at least until she was starting her brother and the others were doing it. Arceus opened his mouth to voice the correction response of how he wasn't able to handle her, but he was set to yet again when she flew forward and hugged his face. His eyes widened upon the contact, feeling her fuzzy warmth against his cheek, and a little into the embrace, he couldn't tell if his face was warm from her or if he was really blushing. Why would he be blushing? He then thought. It was preposterous. A mom being caught up with his denial to accept that a god like him could possibly crack under cute pressure. Mew had already floated off the deeper of the room for enthralled at happiness and saying how much fun they were going to have. Arceus wanted so badly to correct her and tell her that he had no time to keep her occupied. But he remembered the embrace, the way she looked at him, envious for his help. He only sighed upon opening his mouth. He had hoped to take the rest of the day off to relax and possibly ease some of the tension within his muscles. But as always, his break was postponed. Arceus returned to his hooves, eyeing Mew with slight annoyance as she flew around above him. His headache had to go away. He stretched out completely, and now he had to keep Mew company for the next set of hours. And it was only 9 in the morning. However, Arceus was certain that it was going to be a very long day.